Welcome to the Incoherent Fangirl.
Where no one is going to be able to guess who my fictional boyfriend of the week is this week.
If the last few weeks are any indication, we'll never know. We'll just
I
never know.
am but a girl.
I'm Karen from INRA.
I'm Mandy of the New Republic.
I'm shocked. Shocked, I say. This is brand new information. All right. In our timeline, it is April 16th, and in y'all's, it is April 24th. I am in a car driving to y'all west. That is what is happening
I
as you're
am
listening to
in
this.
an RV driving to Michigan.
Look at us. Look at
Yeah.
us traveling.
Yeah.
Yours seems more comfortable because you don't actually have to drive.
But I have to work in a
That's true.
moving vehicle.
That's true.
Yeah.
I have to drive. I wasn't born to be the driver. I was born to be the passenger princess. It's very rude.
Agreed.
It's
Yeah.
very rude.
Every now and then on long trips, Josh asked me to take a shift, and I'm like,
Yeah. When we
but
were
I'm a
last
passenger
when
princess.
we were last down south, Heather asked me to drive so she could get some work done because she hadn't gotten work done the night before. And I was like, I come here with you because I'm your passenger princess.
I love that you called it down south.
I mean, it is down south from me.
I don't mind driving, but like in on long trips if I'm on the highway,
Yeah,
because then I can put in an audiobook and make
that's
everybody
true.
in the car suffer. I
That's
asked
true.
Josh if he would want like audiobooks for when like he's traveling with like film crews and stuff, and he's
Right.
like, "No, I feel like that's so rude to make everybody else listen to your book." And I'm like, "I don't give a fuck. If I am driving, what do they say in Supernatural?
And
Passenger or driver picks the
picks the
music,
music, passenger
shotgun
shuts
shuts his
his
cake
pipe.
hole."
Yeah.
So you don't want to
Facts.
hear about Aaron Warner, then don't
Then
ask me to
you
drive.
should drive.
He
Oh
wants to be
man.
polite though to everybody
Oh,
else, so they just listen to music. But I'm like, no, no, no. We're
this is too nice.
all
We're all
learning
falling in
about
love today.
Rhysand's wingspan. Okay, everybody get comfortable.
Oh my
Let me tell you about
gosh.
Lorcan Salvaterre today. There's
Uh, we are
Velvet
simply
Wrap Steel coming
we
soon.
are simply just girls.
I
Okay.
know.
Okay. This week in fangirling, what'd you do? What'd you do? What'd you do?
I finished Release Me by Tahira Mafi. It's our 30-year-old Aaron Warner. I die. I love him so much. Obviously I can't tell you a lot because, like I said last week, second
Yep.
book in the second series of a well-established world.
Yep.
But what I can tell you is it was so much fun, this book, to get more of James's personality because he is the perfect combination of Aaron, Kenji, and Adam.
That sounds so accurate.
It is insane
I love
how
that
like
so much.
I don't feel like this is too much of a spoiler because like it's par for the course in the story, but at one point he's very worried that Rosabelle, the main character, is about to like shoot him at close range, and I'm like, you're Aaron's brother. He tries. He has like a little internal monologue that he does. It nowhere
Uh-huh.
touches Big Brother's. Then he has like his silly, goofy mood moments where it's like, Kenji raised you. Kenji raised you right. And then when he starts getting whiny, I'm
Oh.
like, get the Adam out of here. Ugh. Ugh. But it was so fun. Some fan favorites are back. There's a very scary moment for people like you and Josh and Brandy, but I want you
No.
to know everything is okay. But I was so afraid that I was going to have to text you not to read this book.
Oh
I
no.
was terrified. I
I
was
would
so scared.
I would die. I would literally die. Is
Yeah,
Tata trying to take Shelby Mahurin's like mantle?
I,
Because
I don't know. I was
that
really scared.
that would
Honestly, I'm really scared because at the very end, And I'm not
Mhm.
going to give away any like anything, but like big things are happening, and Aaron and Kenji are together, and they separate. They're like, we have to, whatever. And it's very scary with Kenji, and you're like, oh my god, I thought I was going to drive off the road. I was so scared. And then things are okay, but then like there's this big cliffhanger, but no one ever, it never goes back to Aaron. So I am going to be
Oh
beside
no.
myself because I'm like, is he okay? He's got like, I don't think this is a spoiler because it's been out there now. He's got a baby on the way.
Right. I listen, if there's one thing that could turn an entire fandom against you,
I was thinking that, like, if you kill off Aaron Warner,
I
that is the
like
way.
you are literally mother right now. And if there's one thing that could turn the
Right.
entire world against you,
Like, I think she could survive. I don't want this, but if she killed
I
off Kenji, I think the fandom would survive. If she killed off Aaron Warner, I don't think that the fandom world would recover from that.
I
Like, I
don't think
truly
so.
don't.
I don't think so.
And the whole, like, because it was all like really big stuff, and I was like, oh my god, oh my
Okay,
god,
so
oh my
note to
god,
self,
oh my god.
read in bed under my blanket, not
Yes,
while driving.
yeah,
Good to know.
yeah. It was scary, but it was very good. Like, woo. I'm like, my heart is palpitating right now just thinking about it because I'm like, I know there's no way she's gonna kill off Aaron Warner. Like,
She can't.
I
I
hope not. Like,
I
that
just
would
I
be
can't. I can't.
crazy.
I can't. I can't see it. I
No,
can't see it. Because not only does she know how beloved he is, but like her publishers know.
right? Yeah,
They
they're like,
they
you're.
like
They'd be like, baby girl,
you gotta
hold
you
on,
gotta you gotta fix
pump the
this.
brakes on this one.
This is not how it works.
Yeah, I was like, dry, and I was like, if someone gets notification that Aaron's gone, there are so many like central things I can just merge into. Like, what is happening? So that was stressful.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Speaking of stressful, it really wasn't that bad, but I went on a field trip with my baby, my older baby niece, a bunch of 7-year olds, my sister, and my baby niece.
Oh my goodness.
That was an interesting time. It was at a produce stand. I went there last year. I probably talked about it
Yes.
on the podcast last year.
Yes,
We
yes.
did
I
some
remember this.
shopping. We went to dinner. We met up with the twins and we went to dinner at this Josh calls it the retirement facility. It's this cafeteria. It's S&S cafeteria. If you're ever in Central Georgia, you have to go there. It is so good. But we were the youngest people there by a landslide. But the food, it speaks for itself. It's so good.
Yeah.
Then the next day was my author event. So it was my
Yay.
first ever like event as an author. So that was fun. I got Josh and my mom were neither of them were able to go because of like previous commitments. So
Hmm.
I got there by myself and they have like a little sign outside with like there were two of us with
Hmm.
like my photo and like the little promo. And I get there, I set up. The setup was so cute. There's photos on my Instagram. I think maybe they
Yes.
need a spot on the grid. I think there was only one. Um, the twin showed up with flowers and a card. Their BFF showed up, like this little girl that I've loved since she was in the like third
Hmm.
grade, fourth grade, came up to support her auntie because she calls me
Oh,
Aunt Mandy too.
right.
Like,
Because
yeah,
you are.
I know exactly. So she showed up. Then her mom came and her mom had flowers for me. My friends at the Monkey's Paw, the tiki bar we went to, they sent a gift and a card. My grandparents were there, my sister and the baby nieces. It was like 90% of the people that came in the bookstore that day were like my people. And that was so
Aw.
nice. I want to get the other author's last name right. Let me pull it up on
I was
Instagram.
there in spirit.
Yes, you were.
And by in spirit, I mean I was selling books at the same time. So it definitely counts. I also had a table and I
Yeah.
was sitting right next to you.
So the other author that was there was Angie Schwendeman. She has a series called Live and Indie. They're like children's books that are choose your own adventure. And they're based on,
Oh.
she said she really couldn't do like, she didn't like to read to her daughter when she was growing up. So she would say, like, they would sit down at night and she'd be like, all right, we're going to go to a museum. And we walk in the door and there's an aquarium on this side and dinosaurs on this side. Which way are we going? And
Hmm.
so they would do like choose your own adventure, like bedtime stories. And
Oh.
so the stories are named after her daughter and their family dog. And they just go on like all of these adventures and like it's choose your own adventure through the whole story.
That's so cute.
Yeah. So my niece came and we got her, I think all of them. My grandmother got some and I got some.
Right.
But it was very cute. So you should check her out, Angie Swindeman. And it's the Live and Indie stories. She also has a book about perimenopause if you
Okay.
need anything about that.
Okay.
So she was great. We went, my sister and one of the, well, both of the twins. One twin had to go off for a little bit, but we went shopping with the babies and whatever. We just kind of had a girls' day.
Hmm.
I need to tell this story just so it's immortalized on Pedro Pascal's internet.
Okay.
We're standing in the Burlington Coat Factory shoe section.
Hmm.
And I don't remember what was said or what we did, but my baby, my 7-year-old baby niece, just all of a sudden shouts out for the whole store, Mimi and Mommy are the C word.
What?
And we all
C word.
glitched and we all panicked and we're like, what is about to come out of your mouth next? Because that's not a word that's ever in a vocabulary that's present around a
Right.
7-year-old. And so the twin that was with us recovered faster than us. And she was like, hey, babe, so when you say the C word, what word are you saying? Cringe. That's right. That's right. We're cringe.
I'm
That's right.
dead. I'm dead.
Oh my God. I don't know what we did to be cringe.
Please. I'm dead. Play this for her when she's a teenager.
Yeah.
Please,
I told my
because
sister I need to do it. I'm gonna change your name in my phone to the C word because what do you I'm telling you, like I wish there had been someone there with a like I wish we had been recording
yeah.
just to see all of our faces. Beanie or the C word.
Oh,
C
baby
word
girl.
talking about.
Oh, baby girl.
Oh, it was so scary.
Oh my
I think it's because we
God.
kept like I kept intentionally picking up things that I knew she wouldn't like and being like, "What
Mm.
about this? What about this outfit? What about this pair of shoes?" And so I think that's why I was the C word, and then mom's always the C word because she's mom.
Hmm. Moms are, yeah, that is our curse.
Yeah. So we went and had Mexican food. Everything was delicious. We my sister cannot do spice. Even black pepper is
Hmm.
too much for her. She's the white people. So she gets tableside guacamole where they make it by the table and she says no jalapenos. And I was like, on the side, please. I will sprinkle them on top of mine. I like flavor. So we get them and I put some on a bite at first and I'm like, there's not even like a hint.
Hmm.
Normally you can at least tell that you've had a jalapeno, but I'm like, there is absolutely nothing going on here. So I like take some by themselves and I'm like, there is literally nothing. The twins try it's bell pepper. They give us a little thing of chopped bell pepper. I'm like, oh,
No.
this little waiter is a beautiful idiot.
Oh my
Poor
God.
guy.
Oh my
We didn't
God.
tell him. It was just so funny.
That's
That
that's
needed to be
funny.
immortalized too. I caught up on Abbott Elementary and hurt my own feelings
Oh, okay.
because the ship is
Hmm.
sailing and then someone utters the words, well, maybe we should just break up. And it's fully caught up. a new episode came
Oh
out today, but I haven't gotten to watch it yet. But I'm like,
no. Oh
I'm so scared.
no.
I'm so scared
No.
right now.
No, that's
I'm
scary.
hoping it was just the height of emotions.
Okay. Okay. Fingers crossed.
Um, I saw a TikTok a while back where somebody was like, everybody's like, marry the finance bro, marry the tech guy. And it was like, no, babe, marry the production nerd. And she was like at a concert behind the scenes, like
Yeah.
getting to see the concert. I married the production. Well, I married a musician, but now I'm
Yeah.
married to the production nerd. And I got to see Jim Gaffigan last night
Hmm.
at an event in Atlanta. My mom and I have loved Jim Gaffigan for years. Anytime we like go on a long trip, at some point, Jim Gaffigan, at least one set is going to be played.
Hmm.
Um, so that was fun and really, really cool. And we went to Whataburger after. So like marry the production nerd because you get to go to fun things like get to see Jim Gaffigan. And it wasn't like a tour stop. This was like a special event.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I'm almost done. Vanderpump Villa has restarted. I'm only a couple of episodes in, but Stassi is all of us because the second she sees Marciano, she's like, I'm gonna eat your lunch. Tell me everything about this Mormon wives drama. I don't believe you that you didn't sleep with Jesse. I don't believe you. I think you're lying now to cover your tracks. Sheena Shea is involved for no reason. If you've watched Vanderpump Rules, you know what what and why has she inserted herself. She cannot stand it. She cannot stand to not be the center of attention. She cannot stand that Stassi is still with Lisa, is getting her own show, is getting to
Hmm.
do Vanderpump Villa. She cannot stand it. And so she apparently inserted herself in the Mormon wives drama. And at one point, minor spoilers, it's in I think it's in the first episode, Stassi is like, I think you've slept with Jesse multiple times. I think at least one of them was at Sheena's house. I think and
Oh
she
my
just goes in
God.
on him. And she's like, I don't think you made it up. She says, because do you understand how evil you would have to be to make that up and lie about someone, especially someone that you know is married?
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
when he was like, he was like, Sheena, is involved. Bo just like walks out of her husband. Stassi's husband is just like, of course. And just he's like, I can't. He just walks out. He's like, I cannot, I can't do it. So it's gotten interesting. There's some faces back that I did not love last season, and I'm not going to love this season. Then there are faces that I loved last season that I'm happier back. So yeah, I'll probably finish that over the weekend.
Hmm.
And then I've been reading Wings of Life by Megan LaFay. More on that later.
Hmm.
I'm out of breath. What did you do this week?
Okay, so on the heels of your Vanderpump talk, I have to say this. I've not finished this, but um I was reading an anthology and there was a story in there, and these are teenagers. And one of the girls is like gossiping with another girl, and she's talking about how Tom is cheating on Ariana with
Oh, yeah.
Rachel. And I was like, I stopped in my tracks
That is
and
so
went and
funny.
I went and Googled. I'm like, when did this pub? When did Scandival happen? And I was like, this is fully a reaction to that. Like,
That
there's
is
no way.
hilarious.
I died. I immediately texted Mandy because I was like, girl, you will never believe
Genius.
what just happened. There is
Genius.
absolutely zero way that that was on accident. That is
Yeah.
absolutely on purpose and very much an if you know you know situation. And
Yeah.
it like this is a book about like fairies, like an anthology about fairies, and they still were able to incorporate this like
That is
random drama. I
so
was like,
funny.
I died, so funny. So I had to throw that out there because I thought it was hilarious. This week I read Behind Closed Doors by Shane Rose. You have Mia Darling, who is a summer school teacher at an elite academy, who one day finds herself thrust into danger as she and her favorite student, Franny, are rushed into a panic room, and she ends up watching a massacre happen on the security cameras
Jesus
inside
Christ.
this panic room. Afterwards, she understandably blacks out and finds herself woken up at the home of Franny, and with her dad, Jameson. Who
Jameson's the killer, isn't he?
Jameson is not well, Jameson offers her. He gives her he produces an offer that she can't refuse, not because she's afraid for her life, but because she is such a good teacher that she cannot bear to be parted from Franny, who is very clearly in need of her at this moment in time. Um, I hesitated because it's like a mafia dark romance, so that basically should tell you everything else that you
Yeah.
need to know about this
Yeah.
book and what may or may not end up happening with Mia Jamison and Franny. Um, there is a plot line that is like it's like a major plot point near the end of the book, like a big reveal kind of thing, and it's like, yeah, that tracks. And was really like I could see that coming from a mile away, and also this is wildly unhinged. Wildly unhinged. So yeah, it was an interesting time. Make Room for Love by Darcy Liao. You have Mira, who has just split from her abusive ex-boyfriend and finds herself without a place to stay. After she has an encounter outside a nightclub where her ex is kind of stepping up to her, like this is the first time she's seen him since they broke up, and she has been no contact, and he is again an abusive ex. So he is trying to like get her to talk to him. So after this, you have Isabel who steps in to save her from her ex, and she's like, "You need to back the fuck up, go away, all of this," and she's
Yeah.
very tall and intimidating and very butch. And so he, being the little scaredy cat that he is, runs away. Um, After that happens, Mira kind of unloads on Isabel and is like, I have no place to stay. That was my ex, blah blah, all of this. And Isabel, in a moment of pure like, I don't know what's happening, offers her spare room. These people have just met for the first time. And
Oh my
Isabel's like,
gosh.
yeah, come and see like my spare room. And if you like it, then you can come stay and we can work out rent, that kind of thing. And so, just until like my lease ends at the end of the year. So like it's not long term. I have the spare room and my lease ends at the end of the year. So just until you get back on your feet kind of thing. And so Mira goes, she sees it, she's like, okay. And so they move in together. But of course, forced proximity and a
Yeah.
budding friendship leads to a bit of a bisexual awakening for Mira, and more that neither of them is really ready for, but such is life. Such is life. It's so cute.
Yeah.
I'm so behind the times because this was one of the books that I picked to read for the trans rights readathon, and I didn't read it during that time, but I'm still reading it now because I have the books that I wanted to read during that time, and I have them, and I'm going to read them now. So,
Yeah.
but Mira is a trans woman, and so one of her big things is like, oh, like nobody's ever gonna love me, blah blah, all of that. I'm like, sweet baby girl, you are everything. I adore
Yeah.
her. So, and then Isabel's just kind of like, girl, what?
Yeah.
And it's a
Right.
good time. Next up, Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas. You have Yadriel, who, in an attempt to prove himself to be a true Brujo and gain his family's acceptance as his true self, he performs his own quince ceremony in which he asks the blessing of the goddess to, step into his power as a Brujo. They have been putting off his ceremony because they're like, this has never been done. Like you are actually you because they're separated out by the Brujos and the Brujas, right? So the Brujas have a separate ceremony than the Brujos, and obviously Yadriel, who is a trans boy, is like, no, like I'm a Brujo, that should be the ceremony that I
Yeah.
undergo. But his family is like, oh, maybe next year, maybe next, and they just keep putting it off. They're not saying no, but they just keep putting it off. And so he takes it upon himself, with the help of his cousin, who is the best, to just do it himself under the cover of night. Um, luckily for him, he is very excited to find that it works. He does, get the blessing, but he has to keep this a secret from everybody until he can like feel like he can prove himself.
Yeah.
So immediately after the ceremony, he and his cousin feel this sharp pain and they realize that one of their cousins has died. And so they rush back home only to find because they have the ability to feel when one of their own has passed. So everybody's in
Hmm.
an uproar. They can't find his body. And so they're worried that like his spirit's stuck, like they're not going to be able to, save him, that kind of thing. Not save him from like death, but like just save his
Right.
spirit.
Yeah.
And
His
so,
soul.
right, exactly. And so he and his cousin, whose name is escaping me, but she is the best. They are immediately sidelined. They want to help, but they're immediately sidelined. And Yadriel's dad is like, "You need to stay home with along with the other women." And he looks at him, and his dad looks at him, and his face is like horror. He realizes what he said, and but Yadriel's like, no. He leaves. He runs out. And he decides that he's going to prove himself. He's going to be the one to figure out what happened to his cousin. So he attempts to summon the ghost of his cousin, only to accidentally summon his high school's resident bad boy, Julian Diaz. They have never met like in person, but he knows of him because
Yeah.
again, resident bad boy. And he is very adamantly like, wait, what do you mean I'm dead? What do you mean you're gonna send me like you're gonna, send me away? Like, no, that's silly. And
Yeah.
so now the pair have to work together to figure out what really happened to Julian and also how it's connected to what happened to Yadriel's cousin, because as the story goes on, they realize like there's more to it than just,
Yeah.
you know, especially since like these are young boys, like kids, basically. Like, what this is not normal. And of course, the more time they spend together, the harder it's going to be for them to let each other go when the time is right. Will they? Will they? Who knows? Who knows? But it's so good. God, I love Aiden Thomas.
I know.
Daughter of the Hunt by K. Arsenault Rivera. It's a reimagining of the myth of. I have always pronounced it Iphigenia. Iphigenia. But this audiobook, pronounced it Iphigenia, and I can't. Anyways, so it's the myth of Iphigenia and Artemis. I'm sorry, I just can't.
Yeah.
In which Iphigenia is the heir to her family, and she is forced to stay within like her family's tower, because as the heir, like she cannot step off of this land. Otherwise, there's like a curse that befalls her whole family. They, lose all their money, they lose all their power, blah blah blah, all of this. So she's the heir to this family, so she has to stay on the property no matter what.
Hmm.
But when her Aunt Helen, and yes, that Helen, is stolen away from her husband, a war begins. And Iffy's father chooses her as the sacrifice to Artemis in order to give their side blessings during this war. Artemis is horrified to find out that Iffy was not actually consulted. She did not consent to being the sacrifice. And Artemis takes pity on her and instead of ending her life, chooses instead to it's like a rebirth of sorts. So she's dead. She's, as far as her family knows, she's dead, but she's not dead. So it's like a rebirth. She has chosen to be taught in the ways of the hunt. And
Hmm.
soon, in the ways of the body, perhaps, as perhaps the goddess falls for her sacrifice.
Oh
Maybe.
no.
Oh no, who could have seen this coming? And then that's what I read. I did, as I was saying earlier, I worked in events. It's SCBWI, which I could not tell you what that stands for. It's something to do with writers and illustrators of children's books. I could not tell you what SCBWI stands for, though. So you can look it up on your own. But there was a conference over the weekend, the same day that Mandy had her signing, which was why I was not in Georgia.
Rude.
And so that was fun. It was fun to just kind of like, it was my first like bookseller event where I was the only bookseller. So I was sitting there all by myself and I'm like, okay, I know how to sell books, I swear. And somebody walked up to me and they're like, how did you guys pick which books to bring? And I was like, I went to the store and my store manager gave me boxes and said, hey, bring these with you. And I said, okay.
Yeah,
And then
right.
somebody else was like, which one of these is your favorite? And I'm like, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I have read absolutely none of these books.
Yeah, I have no
And they're
idea.
like, you know what? I appreciate the honesty. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I just haven't.
No.
But there it was a lot of fun. The author of, as we discovered over the weekend, Boss Baby is a book series.
Had no
So
idea.
I had no idea. So the
Mm-mm.
author of that book series there, freaking hilarious. And she also had books that we were selling, and so we had some stock left over and I had her sign it. She drew on every single book. Every
Oh,
single book that I brought to her to sign, she drew like a little character or a
I
drawing on
love
it. And it was
that.
so cute. She had a whole pack of just a bunch of different color markers and pens. And I was like, her name is Marla Frazee, in case you want to look her up. She is so cute. So it was a fun time. And today, just earlier today, I went on a field trip with my daughter's class. We went to aviation museum that was close by, or not close, it's like between here and San Francisco. So it was a bit of a drive to get there and a bit of a drive to get home. But it was a good time. The kids seemed to have fun. I did, it wasn't intentional. It was just the top shirt on my in my closet, but I wore my Taylor Tomlinson Save Me shirt.
Oh no.
So that definitely was not a cry for help. Definitely not. No. I would save me. No, I do enjoy chaperoning. It was just a funny coincidence and I thought it was a good time. But yeah, that was pretty much I'm 60% of the way through Wings of Life by Megan LaFay. And we'll talk about that later. And
Yeah.
that I think that's my week. I think that's everything.
All right. Well, do you have a fictional boyfriend?
No, but I finally have a fictional son. I can join
Oh,
you because Yadriel, what do you mean? This sweet boy, this sweet baby boy, I love him so much. He just wants to be loved for who he is, and I love you for who you are, baby.
oh,
Oh my gosh, I love him so much. And he is like, throughout the whole thing, he's like, there are times where like it's also really cute because like he has never had any interactions with Julian like while he was alive, and so he doesn't really know how he feels. And then there are moments where like Yadriel will say something and is like braced for like a negative reaction, and he's like,
yeah.
okay, whatever, all of this. And there's this one really cute moment where, and I guess this is, it's a spoiler but it's not really a spoiler because you can kind of see that this is going to happen. But there's this moment where um Yadriel is talking about somebody or other in Julian's like group of friends, and he says something like, "Oh, is that your girlfriend?" Like kind of jealously, right? And
Mhm.
Julian's like, "No, I don't think that she's my type." And he's like, "Oh, why? Because she's blah blah." And he's like, "Because I'm gay, you idiot." And Yadriel just kind of stops, and he's like, "Oh, okay." He's like so like taken aback. He's like, wait, I didn't expect this. I feel better about my crush. And it's so cute. But yeah, so my son, I love him. I love him so much.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you, Mandy. I'm not asking.
I can't help it. I am who I am. He's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
angry in this book because he has to deal with James. James is an idiot unless he's acting like Warner. Um,
Oh.
I will say it's really hard to read these books. I was telling Josh about it last night because like at one point he Rosabelle keeps trying to escape and he's like we can't everybody's like we can't let her. So at one point he like grabs her but they're kind of hiding from they don't know if it's his people or her people. and he's got her like pressed up to him, and he starts talking about how he can feel every curve of her body and this and that. And I'm
And
just
he's a
like,
baby.
you are a child.
He's a baby.
What are you talking
What do
about?
you mean?
You are what, 9? You're a
You're a
10-year-old.
baby. What
He's
is
not
happening? I
anymore,
know.
but it does not feel normal. And so,
It's
like,
right.
when Aaron Warner yearned, it was like, of course you are. Of course you're yearning. And I love
Right.
it. Now that it's James, I'm like, young man, you put that away.
That's so valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
I feel like I
sure.
need, he can be my fictional baby brother. I just want to like shake my finger at him and be like, sir, or
No.
like you do with cats, you spray them with water. Stop it.
Yes.
You're a
Yes.
child. And that's kind of how Kenji is. Kenji is like, what is wrong with you? Like everything is going wrong. Why are you lusting after this girl?
Kenji, you should know. You've been there.
There's more. You get some details about Kenji that are
My,
surprising.
my sweet baby Kenji. I love him so much.
You get some surprising insight into
I
the
love him
past
so
10
much.
years with
So
Kenji.
much. So much.
Yeah. Anyways, it's Aaron Warner, Avi.
If you said anything else, you would have been body snatched.
Next week, I will have I've finished, so it's gonna have to be somebody else next week, unless we get like groundbreaking news or something.
Valid, fair. I don't know. This might be like, you're like, actually, Josh says we need to keep reading.
she
'Cause-
she did promise that there's news coming next week. Maybe it'll be Cyrus next week because
Okay. Which,
I'm
I mean,
I need more. But also we are going on a trip, but Angus is going with us, like one of the production guys. So I
Mhm.
don't see him making Angus because Josh is already like, I hate everyone but Kenji. Everybody else is too yearny and emotional. Even Aaron Warner, which I'm like, what? What? He's perfect and everything he does and says is perfect. What do you mean? Um, he's not gonna subject Angus to that. I don't think. Maybe if Angus falls asleep, he'll put Shatter
Oh
Me
my
back on.
goodness. Okay, I
All
believe
right.
now it is time for an announcement.
This is an announcement we've made before a
Yes,
few
we have
times.
because we are
What
talking
is
to
wait,
Brienne.
what
Wait,
is
wait.
the sound where it's like the story you're about to hear has been told before a lot. You know what I'm
What
talking
she's
about?
Yes, and I can't like I as soon as you started that I was like, wait, this sounds familiar.
Yeah.
But anyways, what she said, because next week we are talking to our very good friend Brienne Randall about curses, keys, and secret societies. Yeah! I'm sorry, guys. Dean Winchester inspired male main character. I mean,
I
ah,
mean,
uh, I love her. I'm so excited. It's gonna be so much
you
fun.
know, my
Yay!
girl.
Yeah, I love her so much. Our ADHD queen.
I know. Oh my God.
Bless her. I love her. It's gonna be so much fun. Yay! And now it is time for a spiel.
Let's
Correct?
do a spiel. Yep.
Yay! Okay, so if you enjoyed this episode, please like, follow, and subscribe wherever you're listening to us. Follow us on social media at The Incoherent Fangirl on all the things. Visit our website, theincoherentfangirl.com, where you can also stream all of our episodes as well as read our blog. Head over and subscribe to our Patreon for early access to podcast episodes, full video episodes, bonus content, and the opportunity to ask questions of our guests before they come on the podcast. Yay! And you can also head over to our merch store, theincoherentfangirl.com/shop, because sometimes Mindy gets bored with an iPad and she makes us cute things. Yay!
Yay.
We're so lucky. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, suggestions, design ideas, you want to tell us that we're pretty, we will accept all of that.
We'll take it.
In our inbox, theincoherentfangirl@gmail.com. We love hearing from y'all. And of course, one last way to support the podcast is to rate and review on whatever platform you're listening to us on. You know, we love words. Give us your
Give
words.
us those words.
All the
We love
words,
them.
please. She is at Mandy Perv on all the things.
She's at Miss Made in China on all the things.
And once you followed us on social media and you follow the podcast on social media, you're going to head over and visit our internet besties and do some self-care because we love you and we want you to stick around forever, okay?
Yeah.
First up, you're going to head over to our friends at Here Comes the Nerd at herecomesthenerd.com. Add some cute pins and artsy goodies, some stationery to your cart. You're going to use code Fangirl and you'll get 20% off your first order.
Then you're going to head over to onceuponabookclub.com. You're going to subscribe. You can get some extra stock of boxes they have. You can get some random goodies. And when you check out, you're going to use code Karen10 to get 10% off your order. But if you don't spell Karen right, we're going to send you to an alternate reality where Tahada Mafi does kill off Aaron Warner. And that is not a world I can live in.
No.
That's like the worst.
Ooh.
Don't do it, bestie.
Ooh, just spell my
I'm like
name
getting
right.
emotional thinking about
Just
it.
spell my name right. It's not
Spell
that
Karen
hard.
right, for the love of God and Aaron Warner.
Oh. All right. Next up, you're going to visit our good friend Amber D. Lewis at amberdlewis.com. Add 10, 20, 50 of everything to your cart because you're then going to add code Fangirl10 and get 10% off all of that, which means you've saved a ton of money.
You've gotten some
Like
stuff
that's
free at
that's
that
how
point,
math
for
works.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
We're mathematicians.
Mhm.
And last but not least, you can support my family. I
Yay!
kind of like us.
I
So
kind
for
of love y'all, so
hey,
them's the
we love
rules.
you too. You can go support the show husband. He's at Born and Josh on all the things. You can follow at Searchers Believe on all the things. That's his paranormal investigation group. If you go to searchersbelieve.com/shop and use code Fangirl10, you can get 10% off of other things I've designed when I've gotten bored with an iPad. You can follow Searchers Podcast. That's our spooky weird podcast about weird things.
Spooky weird things.
There's a backlog. I don't know when we're going to record again. Hopefully soon.
Guys,
We
it
got to get
exists.
everybody
Go
on the
listen.
same schedule. Yeah. Then the big one is you can follow at Stream Beacon TV on all of the things. It's our paranormal true crime horror podcast platform. I'm on a podcast platform where we have all kinds of really cool things coming. We have this week has been the Dead of Spring, which is a week of new content drops every single day. So when you're listening, we're on the 5th day of 7. So go check out streambeacontv.com. If you subscribe and use code Fangirl10, you'll get 10% off of your subscription, and really go interact with those social medias because I am their social media manager and that will tell them homegirl needs a raise.
Yes, I approve.
And last but not least, I wrote a book. Karen has it and I have it above my hand. It's called The Living and the Dead. It's about a girl who was born a ghost but ages like the living, and the reaper who comes after her and who would die to get her to look at him. Just a look, just one glance my way.
Just glance at me.
He's so yearny. I'm on all the major retailers' websites, or you can go to my website if you'd like a signed copy, aepurvis.com. And if you use code Aaron Warner, you'll get 10% off because it would not be me if I didn't make something about Aaron Warner.
Yeah, them's the rules. Otherwise, she's been body snatched.
I love him so much.
We couldn't tell. And that is the Incoherent Fangirl. Thanks for listening. We love you. Bye. We are sponsored by our friends at Here Comes the Nerd. Pins, stickers, magnets, and more. Here Comes the Nerd has happy art for all fandom-loving hearts. New customers can use coupon code FANGIRL during checkout for 20% off their first order at herecomesthenerd.com. Coupon applies to ready-to-ship items only.